Would you like to drive a Ferrari on a racetrack? Well, that's the fantastic opportunity one of our contestants could win on tonight's asking price. Right, we're about to show our studio contestants a variety of cars that are genuinely on sale up and down the country. Now, they guess the asking price, and there's a point for the closest to it. Now, if they guess within £50 of the real asking price, they'll get an extra bonus point or 2 bonus points for a direct hit on that price. So, with me tonight are Rick, who brings in German cars from Europe, Max, who makes unfeasibly fast Japanese cars go even quicker, and Simon, who imports very quick Japanese cars as well. Thanks for joining us. Let's get straight on with the game. Now, we found a real beauty here. Let's join Brendan for our first car.
Always fancied a Beamer. Well, we've got one of Munich's finest here. It is a 3 Series, as you can see, a 328 injection, special edition, which means, of course, it's got a 2.8 litre 6-cylinder engine, so it will really munch those autobahns. Have a look inside, though. It is not in brilliant nick. I'm afraid it's done 51,000 miles, and I'm afraid it shows. The seats are well worn. This grey leather interior is horrible, and of course the gear lever, handbrake and steering wheel are all well worn, signs of usage. That's because it's N registered, it's 6 years old, August 95, and 51,000 miles on the clock, as I've said. But lots of extras, as you would expect in a 328, electric sunroof, windows, mirrors, air conditioning, power assisted steering, ABS, a not very attractive set of alloys, but a nice Blaupunkt radio cassette player. All in all, a very nice car. Automatic, sadly. You would have thought with all of that engine you'd want a manual, but there you go. Lots of Beamer for your money, but what is the asking price?
There you are, guys. Pick up your pens, start writing. There's a 328 Beamer, as you said, 51,000 miles, 2.8 version. You'll know better than most, Rick, what that's worth if you brought it in from Germany, but there's a genuine car for sale. What do you think the dealer has asked for it? And put your prices up. Time running out. Let's have those prices up, quick as you like. OK. Put your price up, Rick. OK, Rick, what would you bid for that car?
9 grand.
What have you said on your car?
That's how much to pay for that, so much to sell it for.
That's what you think you would sell it for. That's what you want to buy it for. You're revealing your margins to us. OK, Max in the middle there. 11,995, very professional price, 5 quid under 12 grand. And Simon, you're down at the 10 grand mark, 9,995. OK, let's see what that BMW is selling for.
Nice but well-worn BMWs like this do not come cheap, and look at me doing my best Jenny Powell. The asking price is £9,400.
OK, well done, Simon. You're the closest. You get the money. If you'd stuck to your trade price for it, you probably would have got the point as well. So there you go. OK, our second round features brand new cars courtesy of the manufacturers. Now, let's have a look at this Audi A4 Quattro. So A4, another German contender pitched into the massively competitive small executive market. Like most A4s, it looks as though it's hewn from a solid piece of metal, very well made, lavishly equipped, keenly priced. Now, don't forget, this is the top of the range, the 3-litre Quattro. It gets alloys, aircon, 4 airbags, all the other knobs and whistles and toys as standard. Very stylish, well accomplished, understated, very, very desirable car. OK, now then, already cool. We got price up immediately from Rick, who knows all about these things. The other two are working on it. Desirable car, don't forget, it's the very top of the price bracket for the A4 range. Simon, get that price up. Let's see how you value the car. OK, so Rick, now, you bring these in by the bucket load, presumably, from Germany. You say 32,995. Max, a little bit higher at £34,000. And Simon, you're very close again, 34,000 £695. All your guys seem fairly high to me. I mean, Rick, if you were bringing in that car, what do you think you could retail it for in this country?
28,000.
Really? Like, save a lot of money? Again, Max, you're high at 34 and you, Simon, at 34. Let's see what that car is listed at by the manufacturer. So there you go. That's the price of the car. You amaze me, you professionals who know all about this sort of car. There you go. That comes of looking at each other's prices when you're writing them down. OK, Rick gets the point because he was closer, but in fact, you're all way out. OK, now we move on to our classic car round, and it's Andy who's been out for us this week.
Now, if I was to say to you, close your eyes and think of a British car that's a classic, you'd say the Morris Minor, because it really is a beauty. This one was made in 1968, so it's a little bit older than myself, and it's had a lot of work done to it. New wings, all sorts of bodywork. So let's take a look around it. Now, the Morris Minor has always been known as the old classic district nurse's car, or even the local bobby. But the owner of this one said he'd done it up, spent a lot of time and money for his daughter so she could go to university, and she threw it back in his face. She doesn't know what she's missing out on. Less than 15,000 miles on the clock. You tell me the asking price.
I love the Morris Minor. When I started as a reporter on the local paper, that was the staff car. So get writing. What do you think a classic Morris Minor is worth? Bear in mind that the owner probably loves it to death. Might have a slightly high impression, but there again, there's a lot of Morris Minors around on the market. You see them in the local paper classifieds every day. It's not terribly expensive car, so, you know, think about it. What would you pay for a Morris Minor? Right, get the prices up. Let's see what you think. A lot of peering at each other's prices here as they come up. OK, Rick, tell us what you would have paid for that Morris Minor. What have you written?
£1,500.
Sorry?
£1,500.
£1,500, and you think it, but you think that's what it would sell for, 2,200. Yeah. You're telling us your margins again. That's very generous of you, Max. What do you think it's worth?
Around £1,500.
Yeah.
I
Again,
personally won't buy one.
you wouldn't buy one, and can you tune it? Not with your kit.
And
finally, on the end there, Simon, you think it's worth a lot more. You've gone for 2,950.
Yes.
Desirable classic. Let's see what the owner wants for this Morris Minor.
Well, I'm no district nurse, and I'm certainly no local bobby, but if you want to own this piece of history, all you have to pay is £2,000.
Hey, hey, man on the end. Rick's right, 2,200 you said, £2,000, you get the point. So let's find out how the scores are looking so far. Well, Go Faster Max has yet to score. Simon is on 1 point, and Rick, our German car expert, racing away with 2 points. OK, now to our quick-fire round and a chance to collect some bonus points by guessing within £1,000 of the car's value. Now, once you've guessed, you can't guess again. And as the time goes by, well, the points go down. So let's look at our first car. Can't see much of that. Immediate buzz from Rick. Rick, tell me what it is and what it's worth.
An Alpha 156.
And what is it worth?
19,000.
No, not close enough. Between you two. Simon,
Fiat 20
buzz
valve.
there. Tell me again the car and the price.
Fiat 20 valve turbo coupe, 23,000.
Not close enough. And Max, it's down to you. What is it? How much is it worth?
Alpha.
No, you can't go again. You're out.
Sorry.
So, Max, tell me, when you can see it, tell me what you think the car is and what it's worth.
It's Alpha Coupe.
And what's it worth? List price. Quick, quick.
17,995.
No, nobody got it. In fact, reveal the car. It's the GTV Cup 3-litre V6, and it sells for £26,340. Let's go on to the next car. Can't see what that is. OK, got a buzz. Who is that?
Wrangler Jeep.
And what do you think it sells for?
16,995.
Not close enough, so it's down to you, Max and Simon. What do you think it is? Oh, immediate call from Simon there.
A Wrangler Jeep, 15,500.
Not close enough. Again, down to you, Max. What do you think the...
It's a Wrangler.
Yeah,
It's an
go on.
American Wrangler Jeep.
Yeah. What do you think it's worth?
22,495. 22,495.
Nobody's... No, come on. Reveal the car for us. That's
19
the
grand.
4-litre Sahara, and it only sells for 18,350 quid. Believe it or not, Chrysler are out there to make loads of money. So everybody too quick on the draw there. Nobody got any points. So moving on to our 3-car shuffle for you at home. Now put these 3 cars into their correct order of value, starting with the most expensive. So we're going to see the Citroën Zara Picasso, Lexus SC430 and Chrysler's Grand Voyager. See you after the break. Welcome back. Well, here's the correct order value for those 3-car shuffles we showed you before the break. First one, of course, the Lexus, then the Grand Voyager, and finally that Citroën Zara. Okay, Rick, the perceived wisdom at the moment is that European prices are going to level up, that the British consumer is no longer being ripped off, and is it still worth importing a car from Europe?
Yeah.
It is? Well, I mean, just for instance, on a Golf GT TDI Sport, I mean, what sort of money could you save?
£1,800.
1,800 quid?
£2,000, yeah.
Even today? Makes you think, doesn't it? OK, we're off down to the auction for our auction round.
Each week on Asking Price, we take a look around an auction and focus on a car that we have filmed going under the auctioneer's hammer. This week, it's another Golf from Volkswagen, but it's a convertible. I say but because even though it looks sexy and very desirable, actually it has a very limited market. First registered in 1987, this has Carman styling and a full MOT. It has 77,000 miles on the clock, which is very reasonable for an E-plate. If you haven't been to an auction before, you may not know that you can't actually drive the cars around. But I bet this car still has lots of energy under the bonnet. It certainly looked at first glance like it has been well looked after and not totally thrashed. So, what would you bid for this white GTI convertible? Contestants and Chris, it's back to you.
So bear in mind, there you are at the auction. The trade is bidding for the car. Get your prices down. What do you think the trade would bid for a very nice Golf GTI convertible in white? Bear in mind, very easy to sell it to ladies who like that car. You could make quite a lot of money on it. It would move on the forecourts quite quickly. Rick, hurry you, get that price down. And let's see how you bid it. So, Rick, what would you'd be standing there in the rain, in your coat, and you're going to bid how much?
£2 grand.
£2 grand. The auctioneers will love you. Max, how much are you prepared to go to?
Around 800.
About 800 quid. And Simon, you're even lower than that.
About 725, Chris.
725, depending how good the hood is. OK, let's go back to the auction and find out what the Golf GTI convertible made.
Well, let me tell you, the Golf GTI convertible went under the auctioneer's hammer for £850. Was anybody close in the studio, Chris? It's back to you.
Well, there you go. Max, brilliant. You're off the mark, and we give you 2 points because you're very, very close to the price there. The 800 quid you said, and it went for 850. Well done. Max, you make cars go quicker. How do you do that?
By finding the potential that's built into the engine that the manufacturer put into, we extract the potential that's built into it, because when the manufacturer makes the car, they put in a lot of margin of error, safety,
So
noise
you're
level.
pushing it closer and closer to the limits?
Yes.
Yeah, and getting hundreds of brake horsepower out of them.
Yeah. We can nearly double the power of some cars.
Double the power. Oh, go and see this man. We're off to find this week's private seller and see what their asking price is for their pride and joy.
Welcome to the Peugeot 106 Special Edition Aztecs in an unusual lovely blue colour with just over 58,000 miles on the clock and a 1-litre engine. Let's meet the lovely owner, Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
So why are you selling your little baby?
I took it to the garage to get valued just out of interest, so I knew how much it was worth. I've had it for about 4 years. They checked on the computer and apparently it was an insurance write-off.
Oh, nightmare.
Indeedy, a nightmare. I've lost quite a value off the price of the car as far as they're concerned, so I'm trying to sell it privately.
Okay, just noticing here the paintwork's coming away. That's pretty surefire evidence, isn't it?
Apparently so. I didn't think much of it at the time, but I didn't know there was no damage other than somebody smashed the window, tried to break into my car, obviously. The garage said if this was the original bodywork, then the paint shouldn't have chipped away so badly.
Yeah, and the badge at the back as well, I notice, is a little bit higher than usual on a Peugeot car.
It is. Again, something that I wouldn't notice. I'm not too much of a, a car enthusiast, but apparently it's slightly higher than an original car.
What are we women like? Take a good man with you when you're buying a car. There's also a little dint round the other side of the car, isn't there?
There is. There's a small dint there. I
happened?
think when I've been parked in a car park, somebody's opened the door and sort of smacked it into me and driven off.
Okay, nothing too serious though, probably could be knocked out.
Yeah, could be knocked out, yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the interior then, if you want to talk us through that.
It's pretty clean inside. I've not had many people in it. There's slight marking on the steering wheel, but that's just from my steering lock. It's got an immobiliser, which is equivalent to an alarm. And when I bought the stereo separately, worth about £200 at the time, and bunged that in as well, so there's a good stereo system in it.
Okay, so some nice extras. So poor Sarah has been ripped off. She was taken hook, line and sinker. Poor Sarah. Will somebody take this baby off her hands? What would be the asking price though?
So there you go, lads. Rather a sad story, but she's being very honest about it. What do you think the car's worth? Get writing, think about it. It's not a bad car, despite the insurance write-off, 5 years old, 58,000 miles. Would you be able to sell it? Okay. Everybody's starting to think about the prices, and there they are. Right, Rick, how much do you value it at? How much do you think she wants for it, more to the point?
1650.
Max, you've gone for?
14.
14. And Simon on the end?
1550.
All right, let's see just what the young lady wanted for her Peugeot.
So, how sorry did you feel for our Sarah? What was your best guess? Sarah?
£1,500.
£1,500 for her little write-off.
Well done, Simon. You're very close there. We give you 2 points for that because you're on 1550. Now on to the second of our quick-fire round. Same as before, only one guess. The points go down as the more of the car is revealed. Let's start now. Can't see much of it. Max, you beat. What do you think that car is and how much is it worth?
It's a Mercedes CL.
Quickly, and how much is it worth?
£48,000.
You're wrong, so it's between Rick and Simon. Have a closer look at the car and see what you think of it. Rick, you buzzed.
It's a Lexus.
Yeah? What's it worth?
42,000.
Not close enough? And Simon, it's down to you. Simon buzzed immediately. Go on.
A Lexus GS300 and it's £36,500.
Yeah, we'll give you that. Smack on the nose. You get 4 points for that. Reveal what it is. In fact, it's a Lexus GS430 SE, but 4.3 V8 on sale for £36,995. Let's have a look at the next car. I can't see what that is. Somebody can. Simon's buzzed. Simon, what is it?
A Ford Focus Estate. And I don't know whether it's a Z-Tech or an LX, but it's around about
Quickly.
11.5 grand.
Sorry?
11.5.
No, you're out, and it's between Rick and Max.
It's an A-class.
Rick has buzzed. It's an Audi A-class, he
A2.
says. How much does it sell for?
10 grand.
Not close enough. Down to you, Max. You've got time to have a look. You've got all the time in the world. What do you think it is, and what does it sell for?
It's an Audi A2.
Yeah, and it sells for? Quick.
13,500.
No, nobody gets any points. It's the A2 SE, which is the turbo diesel, and Audi wants 16,055 quid for that car. So let's have a look at the scores overall. Well, we've got Rick and Max on 2 points, and our runaway winner is Simon on 7 points. Very well done indeed. So, Simon, you're the one who's now going through to our final payoff round, and you could be driving a supercar. Well, that's no great experience for you in your line of work, but on a fantastic racetrack of your choice, because you can choose between Silverstone, Brands Hatch, Alton Park, Cadwell Park, which is a bit of a motorcycle circuit, or Snetterton. And the supercar driving experience vouchers have been provided by Octagon Motorsport. Fancy that?
Yes, certainly. Alton Park, I think.
Alton Park, you
Yes,
reckon?
we'll have to win, though, first
Be
of all,
very
so.
careful on the hairpin as well.
We know Alton Park
And you
very
can
well.
go into the lake at the bottom. So, we begin again, and let me remind you about our final payoff round. Less time to guess, and the car, well, slightly trickier, which is why we're allowing Simon to ask the advice of the other contestants. To take home the Supercar vouchers, well, you'll need to guess within £1,000 of this car's asking price on either side. I wish you the very best of luck.
Now, cars, as with all things in life, I like to pigeonhole. I like to give them a label and stick to it. But try doing that with this, the Toyota Yaris. Is it a Super Mini? Well, it's certainly bigger than that. Is it a small hatchback? Don't know. Certainly odd looking, and it's a horrible colour, but don't let that get in the way. It's got a 1 litre petrol engine, it's a manual gearbox. This particular car was registered in May 1999, and it's T-registered, and it's got 25,500 miles on the clock. But, I've had a good look round it, you wouldn't be able to tell that by looking. It really is in fantastic nick. Have a look inside, it's got a Buck Rodgers feature that I want to show you. Inside you'll realise it's really, well, quite small. I'm afraid that seat is fully reclined, so if you're in the back, there wouldn't be much legroom. Only in the Yaris, the rear seat goes backwards and forwards. Quite a nice feature that, so if you want more boot space, you can shove the back seat forward and vice versa. But what is really nice on the inside of the Yaris is this Buck Rodgers 21st century style digital rev counter and display. You'll see there are no dials at all here, it's straight down there, and when you're driving it late at night with that on, it's absolutely superb. That's all the details. What is the asking price of this car?
You've got just 15 seconds to give me the correct asking price, and you may confirm. Your time starts now. Start writing. Only 15 seconds, think about it. Give me a price. Simon, you think that Yaris is worth?
£7,500.
£7,500. Well, let's go to the reveal and see what it's worth.
Yes, nice little car this. It's also got the variable valve engine, but you already knew that, of course. The asking price is £6,799.
Brilliant, Simon. You've done it. You've won. Have a fantastic time at Alton Park and be careful at the S's. If you'd like to be a contestant, the full address is on our website, www.menandmotors.co.uk. Thanks to our contestants and thanks to you for watching. Here's another 3 cars, and if you'd like to know their correct price order, the answer is on the website, and I'll see you next week. Well done.